this was the first run I decided to do for the new upcoming Dark Elf series, and man, this guy is good. He is the Ulthuan of the Dark Elves. This guy is going to have control of Rakarth, control of Lothern itself, as well as 5 other complete provinces, and it's all going to happen in under 20 turns. So let's get into it. And starting off with a brand new legendary campaign, I would like to acknowledge Legend of Total War, who gave me the idea of going for Lothern relatively early in the piece, but this is much different because we're going to try and really establish ourselves in Lustria and then move up to Lothern, but we're still going to get there turn 20 as opposed to Legend, who got there about turn 10. But we're going to have 3 provinces under our belt when we get there, and I do feel that this is actually a stronger build in the long run, only because having these territories here allows more money, which inflates your balance of power, and allows for future confederations, meaning Malekith will be easy to get. Starting off with turn 1, we're going to demolish this barracks to make way for that lovely gold mine, and we're going to go to research and go to battle business as usual, everything we can to inflate our income at the moment, because we will be stretched a little bit thin. Now what we'll do is we're going to bring our admiral down, but we're not going to dock him because having a revolt in this province is actually part of it. We want to be able to clear the revolt before we move on. So we're going to have Lokhir Fellheart come in, and you see this Raptor? Basically go straight on top of this Raptor. The good thing is we're going to get ambushed over the end turn. That's right, that's our plan. You see, being ambushed will give us an extra battle, as well as it means the reinforcements will come in 1 turn later. So it's all part of the plan. What we do need to do is hire 2 more handbows. On top of that, make sure you upgrade your Black Arc. I'm just throwing this in from turn 4 because I forgot to do this at the very start. Always do this. You'll start with 2 Black Arc Corsairs, delete them. Turn 1. I accidentally kept them in here till now, so you should be a couple hundred better off. End turn. And we've been ambushed, and this is what we want because we're going to pull ourselves back here, pull yourselves into the open, and the reinforcements are going to come over here. So we're going to get 2 separate battles in the same battle, but we can take them apart in 2 separate engagements. Use your Manticore to lure away the ranged units and focus down the infantry one at a time, making sure you can shatter them when possible. Use Lokhir to run up ahead and hopefully try to group up a couple of them so we can make use of our Black Arc. Be sure to pair Lokhir up with their Lord because he's actually very good in melee, even on Legendary. And there we go, you can do that a lot better, and in fact you don't actually have to do this thing where you get ambushed. If you're really good and really good at cheesing and herding them up under your bombardments, you can do that and sack the province in the first turn instead and get it the second turn. The problem is that reinforcing army can run away, and we need to ensure that army dies turn 2. This method ensures that you'll be able to kill it turn 2, as well as get a good amount of experience. Okay, for turn number 2, we are going to assault the settlement directly. You do have the chance to try and reach past and get this guy to be able to get an extra fight. I've tried it before and I've been unable to reach the settlement on the same turn, which really jackknifes the run. You can try to do this. If you're playing on an easy difficulty, feel free to save scum, take out this army, fight it manually, and then fight the settlement, and you'll get 2 levels. So right now I'm going to assume you're playing conservative and we're just going to go for the single battle and attack it manually. And there we are, another victory, and this time the reinforcements, we're just going to loot and occupy because we're trying to generate a rebellion here. So demolish the barracks, and we're going to repair the Mark of the Old Ones just to get that up and going. And of course we're going to build ourselves the gold mine. We're going to hire ourselves another 3, and we're going to upgrade our barracks on our Black Arc. In terms of leveling up, we want to get to Lightning Strike as quickly as possible, so all the way down the blue tree, going for anything that's going to increase your captives, so we can obtain our Confederation as soon as possible. Start at turn number 3. Sometimes you can get a non-aggression pact. It all depends on the RNG at the start of the game with Itza. Do not do it with the Cult or Sotek. The reason being is that these guys are closer and they will be your nearest neighbor, so if you can get on their good side, it's going to help the last stability of this province. If you can't get the non-aggression, it's not the end of the world, but it's definitely a nice insurance policy. For the structures, we're only going to get the Artisan's House. We need everything that generates money. And as for Lokhir himself, we're going to travel south. Just let him walk as far as he can to move your Black Arc down just outside the Mangrove Coast, but not actually entering it, and go to Lokhir, and this time we're going to hire 3 Dark Shards, and then we're going to end our turn just with Admiral inside reinforcement range. Starting off turn 4, we have an imminent rebellion, but that is okay because we are going to be taking the capital next turn and removing Lord Skrolk, so let's go for it. We're going to see who he's at war with. He's at war with Itza. Well, let's just join it for the goodness of our hearts.
I am going.
Now we're going to target the settlement itself and dive straight in. And here we are. The way we're going to tackle this is to go up along the left wall here. It looks like they just forgot to build this end of the fortress, and either way they've got no fortifications there. So we're going to bring our army up behind there to avoid the fire. But what's important here is that Skrolk has himself a catapult. So we need to waste the ammo of that, because by the time we get on the walls, it's going to absolutely wreck us. Most people know that I hate wasting ammo, but when it comes to an artillery advantage, that's one time you absolutely do have to do it, and they have an artillery advantage because we have none. So just keep on flying a Manticore around here, just bait them out. They'll have to wheel this in because it's a reinforcement, but then just keep on just flying around in bog laps. Once you waste all the ammo, just bring him back. See, these guys are already running at the side of this. And there we go, we didn't lose anyone completely. And again, we're going to loot and occupy. That's our capital obtained. Make sure you repair the main building, and we're going to build a artisan's house here, so everything is about trying to make as much money as we can in the short term. So winning that battle will give us Plague Lash, which means we can avoid all swamp attrition with Lokhir, which is really nice. We're going to colonize with the Admiral because we have the funds to do so now, and the edict we choose is going to be the growth one. Next turn we'll switch it back to public order, but we want this revolt. Now, there's a small chance that Skrolk could have made his way over here. That means the next turn you'll have to go after that and then raise that settlement. You shouldn't have this happen, but if he's over there, raise the settlement first time and then come back because you need it over here. But doing things this way, you should catch him. If he does survive, which can be a good thing, stand outside of your settlement because you want him to attack you, leaving your settlement to repair over the end turn. And that's everything, end turn. Turn 5, and Skrolk has made me look like an absolute jackass by walking past me anyway, and he's besieged us there. So first step, let's attack him. He might not be there for you, but he's there this time. Always deploy in the open area and try to use the settlement troops the best you can because they will replenish free of cost. Try to prioritize killing his characters rather than his troops. Hopefully we can get a second fight out of this. And there we go, we're going to just replenish, and let's see, yep, he runs away, so we get a second fight out of him. First, we are going to deal with the rebellion, and then we'll get him on the way back. And as usual, we are taking those captives. So this is actually quite a great way to earn experience if you want to fight each of these battles once per turn until they whittle down into absolutely nothing. But we're trying to go for a bit of a power run here, so we're not going to do that, but just letting you know that option's there. I'd also definitely recommend finishing off Clan Pestilence now, because if you don't, they might try to take this empty province and then you are just going to have to come back here. The whole point is to eliminate Skaven before they get started. So let's just knock these guys off. We're left here in a situation where we don't have enough movement to get all the way back, but what we're going to do is, what we don't want is for this guy to escape. So we could move in and get the replenishment, but what I'm going to do is move in here in ambush stance because I think he's going to try and get over here. He usually does if you take this from him and he knows he can't beat it with his balance of power. So either way, we should be able to at least block him and keep him in our territory here. We don't want him to escape. We are going to turn the provincial edict back over to public order because that's what we need. And that'll unlock another Rite for us, and we want the gold mine level 2. Over the end turn we didn't quite get the ambush, but we got an underway interception, so safe to say he was probably tunneling under to try and get to that settlement, and then he would have just restarted, so we did the right thing. And that is Skrolk down. Excellent. Turn 6, pretty straightforward. We just hop in force march and we're going to charge all the way to Mangrove Coast. Construction, all we're doing is building a port in Mangrove Coast, and that should take us there. In terms of rights, we've now unlocked Sacrifice to Authority, and that will give us +8 public order all provinces. Over the end turn, Clan Festa was also destroyed, so that plus Skrolk being dead means we no longer have any enemies in common with Itza, so we need to do what we can to keep them on side. I'm a bit too poor to gift anything. Damn, okay, but they'll let us join it regardless. Cool. They usually go to war with the Cult of Sotek around here, and that tends to keep them occupied and they heat off you until we can get some walls on here and get this all established. But fingers crossed. Start of turn number 8, what's important is that we move everything up in the correct order. So first we're going to move our Admiral up. Do not have him in force march, just a regular, and just head up towards Teclis. Do the same thing with Lokhir. If you have to have him in force march to keep him up, that's fine, and you probably will, but that's okay. So you can have him up there just a little bit ahead, and he still will gain his replenishment due to you owning these waters, which is very nice. The last thing you need to do is hire yourself another 4 dark shards. And honestly, if you can afford to upgrade Oxyl to level 2, that will help us. We need these buildings to stabilize the province, but other than that, that's that turn done. Turn 9, and first up our research is complete, so we're going to go founded on tyranny and then go into this, which will give us more slaves captured per battle, helping us get that Confederation we're after, because we have to get a total of 2,500 slaves, and then we get to confederate with Karankar. In terms of military, we need to choose Lokhir first. We'll declare war. There's no one else who we can join for this, so we're just going to do it. He's going to attack once, that'll get him on land. Now he can reinforce the Black Ark, and the Black Ark will sail up like this. And here we are. For this battle, just make sure you do start off hard across to the left hand side and keep your Manticore back. Honestly, he gets shot a couple of times and he'll just dive in and die, and he has Siege Attacker. He's actually what allowed us to do this and land it the first time, so you need to keep him alive. He's very, very integral to this. And take advantage of your bombardments, hitting them where they are clustered to really make the most payoff. And there we go, that's another major port in our pocket. We are going to occupy it. Now going to military, looking at Lokhir, we're going to first hire another Dark Shard here. You might wonder, why so many Dark Shards? Remember, they've got the armor piercing and they're very good at fortifications. Black Ark Corsairs just don't have enough range, but we're now at the position that we can hire some more Black Ark Corsairs directly under Lokhir. So knowing this, we can also upgrade that. And there we go, over the end turn, we managed to get another couple of thousand. Now looking at Teclis here, he's gone very aggressive. Often he just sits in here, but what can also happen is he can take the Blood Swamps if he's declared war on the Vampire Coast. Now, if he does do that, then we won't have this aggression here, but he did, so we're alright. So the way we're going to deal with this is twofold. So first, we're going to handball as many troops as we can over. So let's get Lokhir. And now Admiral is going to go around here and we're going to take this off them while they're not paying attention. So either way, this is your goal. If you're not being hamstrung here, you can bring both of those guys around there, the Admiral coming around here, and make sure you put Lokhir inside the Star Tower. Alright, we're going to fight this on the field for minimal losses. Turn 11, over the end turn, Teclis did attack. He sent his second army off here to try and take this, and we pushed them back with the Admiral. Keep in mind they've got no settlements left, meaning they are taking attrition. So this is the most force you'll probably see here. Normally if they had actually taken that, we'd be able to move over here, and then we would attack this next turn after this with Lokhir, but we're here now, so we're going to finish them off. I've taken a look at those numbers. I've got to admit, I'm not really that confident about this fight, just because there's so many shields to remove there, and everyone is really half dead. So I'm actually going to call now on Sacrifice to Cain to get Dark Conduit. Also, that means that we should still have it by the time we get to Lothern around turn 20. So those are the two reasons we want this. So let's get into it. Okay, we've got our guys hidden in the trees here. We've got our Manticore over there, and our reinforcements coming in here, hoping we can maybe get a bit of a flank going on here. Let's see how it all turns out. We do not want this guy getting hit because he's just going to dive straight in and get himself killed. Man, I could have done that better. Jeez, I lost my Manticore, damn it. But at least I didn't lose him. Okay, we're still in this. We're still in this, man. Whew. Okay, that's as hard as it gets though. It doesn't get any harder than that. Normally they're spread out through 3 provinces, or they're at the back one, meaning that you can get Lightning Strike first, but this is as hard as it is, and again, you can always take an extra turn, beating up the rebellions, getting Lightning Strike, which, if you want to be nice and conservative, I would recommend that. Yeah. We want to be docked so we can sail next turn, which is cool, and let's just go for more Black Ark Corsairs, because he should have the 2 bolt throws. Awesome. Also, this is a chance now we can build shades. Turn 12, Teclis sent his last troops into us, wiping out the Order of Lawmasters, which is awesome. Just looking down here, we're getting really close to this rebellion, and now, funnily enough, we're not going to build Public Order, we're going to build the Altar of Cain. This is going to do 2 things. We're going to get access to 2 different hero types, as well as finally beat down's corruption, so we're going to kill it at the core. At the same time though, we are going to upgrade the Mangrove Coast, and then keep on upgrading this. This is definitely the worst thing I've ever seen happen, right? So look at this, we've got the Cult of Sotek, They don't like us, but they like these guys. And that, funnily enough, doesn't tend to happen, at least when I've been playing. Maybe I've had the right string of luck, but this is going to push this build to the nth degree, because we might have 2 wars that we're going to have to push away from 2 unstable provinces. But we're going to keep on going. We're going to work our way up the Vampire Coast, and if we have to let go of the Vampire Coast, that's fine. We'll just try to hold these islands here, as well as the Headhunters Jungle. So progressing to the next step, we want to be able to attack if we do so need. So let's just move ourselves as if we're going to attack them via land. So it's annoying. It always wants to go by land, but let's just go like this.
Lokhir Fellheart.
So we can uncover, we can see there's no units there at all, so that's great. And we're going to do the same thing here, but we're going to get as close to around this edge here, just to uncover the Awakening. Okay, so this is usually what happens around this point. So turn 11-12, Luther sends his army up here to take the Pox Marsh. He's at war with them, so he's pretty much left the place wide open for someone to take.
Ready my swords. Death to the land mongrels. Ready.
Anchors away. Die. No mercy.
Make sure that you can reinforce from there, and we're also going to build here some shades. End turn. Turn 13, let's jump in, just auto resolve it, and we're going to occupy. Now same deal with the Admiral. And here we are, the siege against the Awakening, and once again we're going to go against the side we believe to be weakest. We actually have artillery now, so we've got them on scattershot, and we're going to try and take down this first tower and just march the whole army straight up. If you have Dark Conduit, it can be really useful at any time really. It just makes these fights pretty much auto win. So just try to get yourself established on the walls as usual and then shoot in, making sure you take out their gunpowder units first. Man, that is a long grindy fight. Well, that happened a lot earlier this time than it did last time, because we had those multiple Skaven fights. So normally this is meant to happen later. I'm going to have to take it. Okay, get rid of that. And we're going to need that. And the good thing is we've already got a corruption building here. So after the Confederation, you'll have Karen Carr here. You'll always have your person here, and they will have a master with them. Now send the master towards Haganeth, that way we'll be able to engage in diplomacy. In terms of this army here, 6 loyalty, that's enough. We're just going to pack it up and save some money. Make sure you clear off any barracks. However, I would still put the harbour down in the capital there and go for public order. Down in your old capital, we have enough money now to raise a second lord, which is no drama to us at all. We're going to go for a Supreme Sorceress of Fire. Yes, you can't get away from my fire magic. Let's just go for Spearman here. That's pretty much where we want it. Let's see if we can sign any trade deals. No one really wants to deal with us, but what we can do is we can meet the 1,000 Moors, and we're going to give them 1, 3, 6, and 7. The size of this gift will matter based on how big he is himself. Start of turn 14, we've had the rebellion right on cue. Let's go out and meet it. I thought I was close enough, but I'm just going to have to back away, and we're going to hire some handbows because we might have to go out hunting for them. And we'll get 1, 2, 3 of those. Now looking at the diplomacy screen, we can see that Luther is around somewhere. So it might be wise to actually just spend 1 turn back here in the capital. So what we do is we pull our Admiral back slightly. So make sure that he's in the water, okay? The pathfinding changes when you click in the water, so go in the water, put Lokhir in the Awakening, and we are good to go. We can also build ourselves public order, which is a must, but we want to be able to still reinforce Lokhir, so we want to move just about there. Well, that's unfortunate. Haganeth's been taken out, so we're going to have to cause a rebellion there to bring her back to life. Okay, but we still can go and meet Malekith. We start trading and building that relationship, and everyone else really seems to hate us. Turn 15, we really do need to take care of this rebellion, so we're going to build ourselves another 3 Blackheart Corsairs with handbows, upgraded secondary province, and we're going to build another artisan's house right there. As for Lokhir, at this point in time, it looks like we're going to get a rebellion, which is okay for now. So just for now, we're going to move him up next to the Admiral. Now, thanks to our Confederation and getting more of these major ports, Lokhir's faction ability for the Blessed Dread means he gets more Black Arcs. Now, these are excellent. Look at this. The only upkeep you pay is for the arc itself, and there's no supply lines for everything inside it. So this is just awesome. What we can do here is just have pretty much an indefinite garrison of badasses that will just swat down the upcoming rebellion without any real trouble. We're just going to build 4 dark shards there for this one here. Now we can do this exact same technique for all of our ports essentially, or at least all the ones we have some concern over. So that Black Ark can look after this one here, but what about Karen Carr? We can also build one here, and we're going to do the same thing. If there is a revolt, this will take care of it. Declare war on these guys. We're just going to move in there. Okay, in this case, we're just going to occupy it. And if that doesn't give it to you, our next destination certainly will.
Hoist the sails.
Start of turn 16, I just want to make clear as well, we could actually hire another couple of Black Arks. This guy gets Black Arks for days, it is ridiculous. And now we're going to be sailing all the way to Lothern through the quickest way we see possible, which I think we're going to go this way because I really don't want to uncover Ulthuan. And we're going to get the Black Ark, of course, to follow. And go full speed.
Anchors away.
We've managed to make contact with Nagaron, so let's see what we can do there. Absolutely nothing. We don't have the money to gift him, but we can get things moving with this guy. Man, he was keen for that. Awesome. Turn number 17, this rebellion finally decided to attack, and now it's in reinforcements range. Let's attack them back, and we'll delete them. Now that that's clear, we can disband her. Going up here, we've got another rebellion, but this time we have our trusty Black Ark there in charge. And we can just hire another couple of... In terms of which province to upgrade, don't really worry too much about the Pox Marsh up there because there's a good chance you might lose it. You want a network of strong fortifications. Get the Blood Swamps with walls on it first, and then that in turn will protect this area here. Okay, so let's go number 2 on there. And last of all, we're going to move our arcs further up towards Ulthuan. Turn 18, let's keep sailing up. And we should have eyes on Lothern. There we go. Cool, so we won't be able to get up there the first turn, but that's okay. And balance of power is about on par with theirs. They attacked the settlement as per expected, and here we go. Quite easily done. It looked like a one-sided event on the auto-resolve screen, but yeah, we could just dump specials on them all day. And this is the best thing about this Black Ark trick, is that you have guaranteed to have a general like this, who they can swarm around, then make use of this artillery, which every Black Ark has. Nearly forgot to do diplomacy. Good, okay, so watch this. Defensive alliance, good. You get the one-off boost for the defensive alliance, and then Confederation. And there we go. So always take a look at your lords down this line here, and just make sure that you've accounted for all of them. Ah, Rakarth is wounded. Excellent. I'm going to keep this dinosaur. Hell yeah. Yes. And public order just to try and keep things somewhat level. Start of turn 19, check the balance of power. It's about even, that's okay. Lokhir, up you go. Cool. So always go with the Lord first. A single click will just bring them to shore. And then if we want, we could attack again, but instead we're going to bring the Dread Fleet up. We're actually going to blockade, and we're going to do the attack with Lokhir. Finally, outside the gates of Lothern itself, and of course we're going to have the second lot of reinforcements coming here, so we're going to try and drive them down the right flank, these guys here, and just let's see what happens. This shouldn't be too difficult. Cool, once the walls start to clear, Black Ark Corsairs actually do fantastic on top of the walls. There we go, Lothern is ours. The other thing we want to do this turn is we want to build a master. Turn 20, let's do some raiding. We can auto that, cool. And yeah, we'll take the money, we're going to need it. Now the way we're going to handle this is we're going to move Lokhir just slightly out. Bring the Black Ark in so that it can help reinforce it, so we're just going to force march it back in, and cool. Rakarth, and he can draw from both Black Arks, just like that, easy. Looking here, the corruption is going down. That is the end of this guide, guys. You are going to have more revolts, that's fine, but they're going to give you more levels, more experience, more slaves. This isn't a bad thing, and you can always back it up. And that's it for this guide. Thank you so much for watching. If you've been interested and enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like or subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.